Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Renee Cobb. This is Red Barn Radio's 18th broadcast season, and this is Red Barn Radio's 667th live concert performance. Tonight, we present the Woodsheep. Since the Woodsheep's inception in the summer of 2015, frontman Andrew Preston's songwriting, experimental but rooted in the deepest well springs of traditional folk music, and their quirky live shows have become amongst the most recognizable mainstays of Central Appalachia's burgeoning indie scene. Among their hallmarks, soaring harmonies, offbeat instrumentation, all balanced by a healthy penchant for the absurd. Sounds wonderful. Let's welcome the Woodsheep to the Red Barn stage.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. WEKU is Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, serving Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta, and live music every weekend. On Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky, Broussard's is on Facebook. Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities, listen locally, and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and listenlocally.net. Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. And Accuprint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter, and hopefully like us on Facebook. Now here again is the host of Red Barn Radio to tell you more about tonight's performance.
The Woodsheep is the name given to the music of founder, producer, singer-songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist Andrew Preston, who has been developing his style of deeply personal, narrative-driven lyrics and musically dynamic arrangements since his very early school days. A collective of fellow musicians forged the Woodsheep's theatrical sound in the studio and at live performances. Melissa Caskey provides a sassy, sweet vocal, and Julie London-inspired bass for the majority of the Woodsheepery, while drummer Matt Holleran highlights the band's characteristic Let me try that again. While drummer Matt Holleran highlights the band's characteristic pop-punk undertones. Tonight, they are joined also by Will Paget. Let's get back to the music of the Woodsheep live here on the Red Barn stage.
I went to sea 1,000 times in search of treasures to cure my bug bites and my castle walls. Built of grandma's bricks and my drawbridge made of candlesticks. I think sometime I got too brave. Some season new to me came into my head, and gone were the days of the empire I've made. Oh, I wonder if it's still there in that old shed. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane when I have roamed high and low. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane. Tin-foil plane, take me home. I had an army at my hands, 10,000 ants employing my commands, till the swan songs from the paper cranes alerted signal fires and guessing games. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane when I have roamed high and low. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane. Tin-foil plane, take me home. I met a man when I was a child with a backwards grin and nobody in his view. If he had that sweet little plane, he would be on his way home too. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane when I have roamed high and low. I want to sail away on a tin-foil plane. Tin-foil plane, take me home. Tin-foil plane, take me home. Thank you.
This next song is one Andrew wrote. It's on our newest album, Sleeping Under Stars. It's called Lost. They say sleeping under stars is romantic, but when the roof is 1,000 miles away, there's a new definition to the bright side, and stars are just old photographs that fade. And I find that I find all the lost ones before I find myself bumping into the startle of strangers on the street, and strangers seem to treat you well. I'm getting good at getting lost. I'm betting dimes on better bucks. Old friends tell me that I found my way. I'm not cut out for getting caught. I'm getting good at getting lost these days. No time for daydreams in the moonlight. I'm bewildered by the books that began when I stumble into Sunday and Saturday's clothes, onto pages in the hands of the wrong kind of man. But I'm getting good at getting lost. I'm betting dimes on better bucks. Old friends tell me that I found my way. I'm not cut out for getting caught. I'm getting good at getting lost these days. I'm getting good at getting lost. I'm betting dimes on better bucks. Old friends tell me that I found my way. I'm not cut out for getting caught. I'm getting good at getting lost these days. Good at getting lost these days. Good at getting lost these days.
Thank you. So a lot of the songs we're doing tonight are original tunes, and there's stories behind them that have come to sort of how they were written or about these events that happened. So I love telling this story because I was on a road trip with Raymond McLean from the McLean Family Band, and Becky Alfrey had used a Bluetooth radio transmitter to play songs over the radio, and Raymond was just baffled by this device. He had never seen a wireless transmitter before. And he said, "How does the radio know?" And so I wrote the song. It's called "How Does the Radio Know?" C, D.
D.
Just kidding. 1, 2, 1, 2. How does the radio know myself, why can't the radio lie? I never knew that a box could be so cold, but the frequencies it sends when I'm alone. Oh, how does the radio know? How does the radio know you're gone? I got my windows rolled down and I'm moving right along. But sometimes when Mr. Castle whispers out those speakers slow, I ask myself, how does the radio know? Oh, how does the radio know? How does the radio know?
Here's Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker.
Thank you, Renee. We are here on Red Barn Radio this evening with the Woodsheep. Woodsheeper Andrew Preston, who is doing a lot of the singing here. Melissa Caskey sang one of the songs you've heard already. She sang Ain't Nobody's Business. Matt Holleran is back on the drums, and then Will Paget is here, closest to me on guitar. And Will, all of you are familiar. I just have only seen Will play folding chair and video camera. I haven't seen him actually do what he's doing now. It's great to have you here in this capacity, Will. But we would like a little help, if you wouldn't mind, afterward, just with some setting up some chairs and whatnot. Warren will have you clean out the coffee pot, I'm sure. But it's great to have you all here, and welcome back. Andrew, I know that you're from a Kentucky town with a Dutch name.
Is it Dutch?
Well, I mean, isn't it anything with Van in
It
front
sounds
of it?
Dutch, right?
Isn't
I guess it's Dutch.
no Dutch heritage you know about there in Van Leer?
I recently
Kentucky?
discovered from Ancestry.com I'm Norwegian, so.
Oh, okay.
Is that Dutch?
Where
Similar.
is- where is Van Leer, Kentucky?
Van Leer is in Johnson County, so it's kind of near Pikeville.
Okay, tell folks listening on the radio, give them a little geography lesson about Kentucky and tell them where Pikeville is.
Oh, I didn't do great in geography.
Yeah, you'll do
But
great.
it's Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
It's where Loretta Lynn is from.
Oh, good enough. All right, say no
That's
more.
how people know.
Say no more. And then what about you, Melissa? Are you a Moorhead native?
I am a Moorhead. Well, I was born in Lexington and lived here till I was 5, and then went to Moorhead and lived there most of my life, but I now reside in Cumberland, Maryland.
In Cumberland, Maryland.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake.
I
Okay,
know,
okay.
right?
We'll talk about how you got there.
A car, Brad, a car.
Are there no flights to that town?
Not from this base. There's not.
Oh. Well, I'm anxious to hear about your journey since we saw you last. But I think it's time for us to stop. You both have history in Moorhead, and you too, Matt, back there. You can just nod. I know you don't have a mic. Yeah, he gives the thumbs up on that. He's got a connection to Moorhead too. So it's time for us to stop talking about Moorhead as just this, Kentucky college town with 2 exits and a peddler's mall. Tell folks about about Moorhead State and why Moorhead has been such an important place for this state musically.
Well, we met at the Traditional Music Center there, and playing music. Obviously, that's how we all met. Actually, Will also met us there originally, and so we all met there at Moorhead State. And I was in the psych department there as well, psychology department. I have a degree in psychology, and It's really cool because, you know, just even me having the psych degree but working in the music program and graduating with the traditional music degree as well, it really represents what Moorhead is all about, which is about these mixing of communities and the mixing of science with the arts and the townies with the musicians and with the students. And there's just this beautiful mix of artists and town folk, and I love that atmosphere. You know, I work at the Fuzzy Duck Coffee Shop and Coffee Tree Books, and they have live music all the time, and everybody there knows about it. And it's just a really great, thriving, artistic environment. Our videographer, she went to school there, and Mary Morris, who does our graphic design work, she's from there. And it's really nice having all of those artistic endeavors kind of coming together in Moorhead. So.
Yeah, so how would you describe the town gown connection in Moorhead? That's always a sort of a tense relationship that towns have with their universities. We love them and we hate them. Here we hate the traffic that they cause. But yeah, in Moorhead, do you feel like there's a pretty healthy relationship between town folk and
well,
and
yeah,
the university?
I mean, Moorhead is so small that the college is so much of the town, and I think that the town folk do they're really they like it. They're receptive, yeah, and I think the students are really receptive. And it's not always easy to get students out to community events, but it's sometimes it is, and that's rare for a small town to get the college students involved in community events, and vice versa. And I know since becoming a townie and no longer a student, I've been still welcomed onto campus and you know involved in those events too, which is pretty cool. We play for the university sometimes, and I think it's a really great relationship. You know, there's some work to be done in every area of that sort of thing, but you know, it's nice.
But it wasn't the traditional music program that brought you to Moorhead, was it?
It wasn't originally, no.
Right.
It was just a great bonus that I discovered once I was there. So.
Yeah, and how? Tell us about that, and what music did you bring to Moorhead? Had you already gotten started when you were in high school, or? Yeah,
well, none of us really are traditional musicians. Will probably the most of all, but you know, Matt was in a metal band, and Melissa's got this great jazz vocal, and I really like low fidelity, like experimental music, and so I came into school with these like strange little recordings of, you know, I would get like the sounds my cat made and combine it with like the sound of refrigerators buzzing and, you know, this poorly picked guitar. I didn't know how to play guitar very well at the time, but that was enough, and I love exploring songwriting in that way. So my favorite thing about the traditional music program was they were really receptive to how non-traditional that was, and helping us understand the music that we like and where it kind of came from in some ways.
Huh.
For me, that was the most beneficial part of the music center, and they were really cool to let us graduate and come do strange piano songs and poppy stuff, and it's not the most traditional thing in the world, but I really liked how receptive they were and how encouraging they were with that.
And do you think the school just realized that in order to stay vital, it was going to need to sort of welcome in other genres and encourage people who didn't necessarily come with a clawhammer banjo and a fiddle? Well,
other genres are more traditional than young people realize a lot of the time. And the music that I really was drawn to is called anti-folk. It came from New York, in the East Manhattan area, and it was rooted in the folk revival. You know, some people were going to Woodstock and playing. You know, Bob Dylan in the 60s got really big in Woodstock, but some musicians were so traditional or so out there, and then they were from Appalachia, from the South, but they had these strange instruments, and they were writing really eclectic songs that weren't necessarily as political driven or as approachable as some of the Woodstock stuff. They gravitated more towards New York, to the folk scene, and they started mingling in these punk bars, and it became this folk punk interesting blend, you know, this pop undertones, and it was this great mix that I just fell in love with growing up from artists like Regina Spektor and Kimya Dawson and those folks. But I didn't know that until I really explored folk music. You know, I'm from Van Leer. It's a really tiny coal town, but my family isn't the most traditional family in the world, so I didn't grow up around bluegrass music or anything. So it's been cool to see where those types of sounds came from and how they developed the way they did.
Yeah, and so did the school program, did Moorhead's traditional music program give you an opportunity to sort of dig in that way and study the music that you like that way?
For sure, yeah, and that's my favorite part about it is they'll take this stuff and they'll say, well, here's something similar that's might have been where it came from, and teach you about things you don't necessarily like. I'm not a big fan of bluegrass, and I wasn't until I really played it and kind of learned more about the history, and it's still not my favorite, but it's fun, and it's cool knowing where it comes from.
Well, there's a lot of kids who are, in their high school years, and they're not exactly sure what they want, what they love, but many of them, by the time they're almost done with high school, really know they love music. And I guess I'm wondering, would you recommend high school students who are in that space who are not really sure what college will be for them? Would you encourage them to look at a school like Moorhead and a traditional music program like the one that exists there?
Yeah, I can't speak for other traditional music programs, but Moorhead State's traditional music program, because even if it isn't the genre that you want to play, and it wasn't mine, it wasn't the genre that I wanted to play or even currently play, but they taught me about history, they taught me about different musical styles, and they taught me how to be a musician professionally. And we've toured in 4 countries and like 2,000 shows in around 3 years, and I don't think we would have been quite as busy if not for Moorhead State.
Yeah. What a great education.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we're going to get back to some music now, but I'm going to come back and talk some more with the Woodsheep about these travels that Andrew is talking about. They went to China, and I know they're great stories to be told yet this show. So welcome back, folk, the Woodsheep.
Now don't get me wrong, love the wildlife, honey. It just smells like you instead of earth. Now I have been wondering, there's gotta be something more than picking up after you. You've been stealing my stars and always leave the carton in the fridge as empty as you. Got the sun on my side, he says I'll be just fine if I pick up leaf for mountains and a thrill. Got the sun on my side, the moon in the night, chase the sunset down and take it like a pill. Rest my heart, not sure it'll ever be still. I was born to go roam, I'm a free bird, honey. You wanted my wings to be gone, but I'm sick of the crowd, so I'm off now, honey. Without you, I'm 12 horses strong. Lord, I love a puzzle, and I tried to shuffle all the pieces of us, I must admit. After some assessing, some second, third guessing, darling, it seems the two of us never could, ever would fit. Got the sun on my side, he says I'll be just fine if I pick up leaf for mountains and a thrill. Got the sun on my side, the moon in the night, chase the sunset down and take it like a pill. Rest my heart, not sure it'll ever be still. Honey, I've hit the road
This next tune has an interesting story. We were taking a walk, and I saw this leaf on the ground, and it looked like it had a smiley face. And so I took a picture of it, and I put it on Facebook, as you do with all things in this world. And a lady named Crystal Wireman saw the leaf, and she's a friend of my mother's. She's an author. And a couple weeks later, I got this email, and she had written this beautiful story about this leaf, about the life cycle of this leaf and how it ended up on the ground. And I just fell in love with that story, so I wrote this song about the story about the leaf. And so it's called Perspective of a Winter Leaf.
And so we also made a video that we hand drew and hand animated in stop motion animation. So we made a video about the story, a video about the song, about the story, about the leaf, right?
Right. One. Lingering on a brittle branch, oh, I can see the children in the hollow groves of frost at ease. Thistles bury to their necks in a frozen sea. Strawberries blooming on eager cheeks. From high above the wooded winter far below beckons me with silk and song and falling snow. The winds caress, I sail away from all I know. Many moons have passed since I have left my home. Wonders in early light have passed me by. I find my place these chilly days by their side, lost in winter wild. My brothers and my sisters falling from the trees, waltzing in the wind as they fall to sleep. The crunching of our stillness far beneath their toes. So much beauty in our resting souls. Wonders in early light have passed me by. I find my place these chilly days by their side, lost in winter wild. The days have grown soft and still and shorter now. The dwindling of the breeze that shook us from the bow. I will join them soon upon the weary earth. My, oh my, what a journey that it was. Wonders in early light have passed me by. I find my place these chilly days by their side, lost in winter wild. Thanks.
So this next song is about equality, mostly cat equality. Andrew's a huge fan of cats. He grew up on a cat sanctuary. I'm going to steal his story here as Thunder. His sister was a cat.
Her name was Cheyenne. She had blue eyes like mine.
So normally we have the infamous cat piano in
It's
the
a
song.
B-Toys Meowsic brand cat piano, and I forgot it.
For the bridge, but it's in Moorhead.
I'll tell you one little story before we play this song. And we were in New York City, downtown, in this really dark bar. And I said, after this song, if you're going to clap, instead of clapping, just meow. And they did. And they meowed like alley cats for a really long time. And it was very disturbing. So I don't ask that anymore. But if you want to meow, go crazy. This song is called The Left Cat. 1, 2, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. The cat on the left is no better than the cat on the right. And the cat in the west knows the west is just a spatially relative side. There are north cats, east cats, cats down south, and in the center cats, and they all just meow the same. It's a cat kind of game. Oh, I have a friend, she's a cat, and she told me we do not wonder if we're doing good, if we're behaving the way cats should. We're just chasing the pigeons in the park when they're playing by the woods. And when I turn the corner, oh, I know there's the left cat. The left cat. The cat on the left is no better than the cat on the right. And the cat in the west knows the west is just a spatially relative side. The cat on the left is no better than the cat on the right. And the cat in the west knows the west is just a spatially relative side. And the cat on the left is no better than the cat on the right. And the cat in the west knows the west is just a spatially relative side.
Meow.
Thanks.
Meow.
This portion of Red Barn Radio is brought to you by Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta, with live music every weekend on Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky. Broussard's is also on Facebook.
Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities. Listen locally and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and at listenlocally.net.
The Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky, is perfect for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky.
And AccuPrint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us.
And now welcome to the second half of tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio is coming to you live from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back, folks, the Woodsheep.
I must have been born in a cyclone, 'cause I am attracted to the turn of the axis. If I become a myself as I rehearse the turn of the seasons. I find myself stolen by the grip of the inclement. So, weatherman, whether you're coming or leaving, can you trace me your maps of the stratosphere? No one told me when I'm older I'd lose myself in a hurricane. But when I look into your eyes, there's bound to find a rainy day looking right back my way. And that's what the weatherman told me. That's what the weatherman told me. There are days when my world is so cloudy, but he blooms like a dandelion in a parking lot. And when it's time to fly, he will dance like wishes in the wind. There are guides in starry skies, but they don't satisfy me. 'Cause I get wise from the televised. Oh, day or the night, he can always excite me. 'Cause that's what the weatherman told me. That's what the weatherman told me. Heartbeats printed on green screen, strange when the weather vane pointed my way. When I was shipwrecked on the high seas, he came. Heartbeats printed on green screen, strange when the weatherman wandered my way. When I was shipwrecked on the high seas, he came. In the rain and the snow all the same. In the deluge of the hail, into the tempest I fell again. I used to be scared of the wind until I flew. When the hurricane swallowed my day, he will find me and guide my way home. 2, 3. 'Cause that's what the weatherman told me. That's what the weatherman told me.
So Brad had mentioned earlier that we all met at Morehead State University at the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music. So one day, Andrew and I were down at the center, and it was raining outside. So he was just playing, fiddling around on the guitar, and so I just started singing lyrics to songs. And I was like, wow, I guess I can only write songs when it rains, because I have a really hard time putting songs together. I have lots of ideas, lots of one-liners, but then I overthink everything. So anyway, so Andrew takes those things that I splurt out and then puts them together in a song, so it works out well. So this is one. It's called I Can Only Write When It Rains. I can only write when it rains these days. I can only shine when the sun has gone away. Some flowers need to bloom in the dark of the mountains. I can only write when it rains these days. I can only dance by the light of the moon. I can only hear the weather vane when it croons. When the world is spinning topsy-turvy, the only way to move is sow another seed with the teardrops from my eyes. I can only ride when it rains these days. There are poems in the sun already basking in the rays. Oh, I sing the best from the depths of my heart when it's ablaze. I can only ride when it rains. I can only ride when it rains. I can only ride when it rains these days.
Thank you. The thing with the Woodsheep is we've I've written all these songs and they come from the most irreverent, unusual circumstances. Just mundane conversations and that sort of thing. And I like writing songs about that. I like writing songs about cats and refrigerators. That's been my thing tonight. I've said that twice now.
And the weather.
And the weather. Oh, we had 3 weather songs in a little row, and this is the 3rd. But this song is different for us because I wrote this song while I was asleep, which I wish I could do all the time. Wouldn't that be easy? But I woke up, I was late for work, and I just had to write it down. And I don't know who gifted me this song, but I'm very glad that they did because it's very special to me. It's one from our new record, Sleeping Under Stars. The song is called Counting Down the Raindrops. Just fine. The starlings in the apple tree sing their songs in time, and the rain falls like it did when you were by my side. But I'm counting down the raindrops till I dream of you tonight. Oh, I'm counting down the raindrops till I dream of you tonight. There are things I wish that I had known, that winter would bite a little harder when you've gone. But the frost still ambles up our window in a waltz, and I lie beneath the snowfall, dancing with me in my thoughts. The age of leaves in the fall always show on the old crooked tree you love that stands down the road. And the rain still falls on our rooftop in the nights, but I'm counting down the raindrops till I dream of you tonight. Oh, I'm counting down the raindrops till I dream of you tonight. Oh, I'm counting down the raindrops till I dream of you tonight.
Here again is Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker.
This evening we're talking with the Woodsheep. Andrew Preston is the main songwriter for the Woodsheep, and he's joined by Melissa Caskey, Matt Holleran, and Will Paget this evening. We've talked a lot about Morehead State University, which is where these folks came together, and also about the interesting sort of cross-pollination of music styles that happens in what sounds like a really great and interesting music program.
Yeah.
You were saying when we left last time that you'd learned a lot in the course of your education there, your music education there, about performing and about traveling. Talk some about what kinds of things you learned that the program itself taught you about performing.
Well, the program is structured to teach a lot of different musicians different ways to make income with music. It's really focusing on multiple income streams for musical people, and I really liked that, and so I learned a lot about how to teach music, how to give private lessons, how to promote, how to do radio, how to advertise, how to do live sound and recording. I record our records and I mix them myself, and Jesse Wells has done some mastering in the past. And our most recent record, which is coming out this month actually, it was completely us home recorded, and so that was really cool. So we learn a lot about that stuff, but really the most of what we've learned is from the traveling, which is sort of just it slaps you in the face, and you've got to figure out what to do. And so you learn all these different things, how to interact with different groups and different audiences, and even technical things like how to make the guitar sound a certain way in a certain room. You start to pick up on those nuanced things while traveling, which we've done a whole lot of after college, and that's life is a good teacher too. So,
Tell me about the traveling you did actually with Morehead, because it seems to me that not long before we met, you had been to China.
Yeah, it was the very
possible?
first trip that we traveled with the Mountain Music Ambassadors. We actually
Yes.
played here with the Mountain Music Ambassadors, and that was one of the first times we ever sang on a microphone, which was terrifying. And
Is that right?
that's right. And we went on one trip to China, partially through the university, but partially because through a watercolor festival there. Which is a really long story, so I'm going to not tell it right now. But it ended up being this amazing trip that we were expecting a great trip, but we weren't expecting a crowd of like 2,000 people and being on billboards and a lot of really. I mean, we are not used to that sort of thing, and so it was a really beautiful experience. But the 2 years after that, we traveled on our own back to China, just as a group, not affiliated with the school, and then to Ireland.
The Woodsheep.
Yes, the Woodsheep with
Okay.
Sarah Wood, and
Okay.
Megan Gregory came with us.
Yeah.
And that same year, the very next week after we got back from China, we went to Northern Ireland and then Dublin through the Sister Cities program with Morehead, which is part of the community of Morehead, not the school. Morehead Town has a great program where in Ballymena, Northern Ireland, they'll send students over and send people over there and back and forth. So they were really gracious in letting us go as musicians.
Huh. So mostly then you learned how to operate when you're traveling. Like you say, you're in and out of different kinds of halls. And
School prepares you, and then the traveling tops it all off. It's really nice to have been able to do that. For our first record, Watching Mars, we toured over 600 shows in a year, which was, we physically stopped working, like my arms stopped working for a little bit, because that's a lot of traveling in a year, sometimes twice a day. So we're probably not going to do that again for a while. But
well, it's pretty outstanding that you got. How many of you were in the band at the time?
it was 4 of us at the time.
Wow, and you all took off enough time to play 600 shows?
Well, there was
out
nothing
on
to
the
take
road?
off from. This was our primary thing.
Huh.
It still is, sort of. We have part-time jobs because it's convenient, but this is number one. And our focus as a band has always been to be fun and to have fun with these quirky songs. I don't really care about how in tune my guitar is all the time. Maybe that's Morehead might not like to hear me say that, but but I don't really care. I want to write things that make me feel, and I want others to at least hear it and maybe get something out of it too, hopefully.
Yeah, well, isn't that kind of anti-folk?
Yeah, it kind of is.
That's sort of the idea, right? It's sort of
It's punk.
lyrics. It's about what you're saying, not that it has to be entirely reasonable or even clever, but just you and what you're thinking about. Like you say, you write about what you see on a day-to-day basis.
That is the policy that's given us the luxury of being able to do it full time, which has been amazing. So I'm
Yeah.
very thankful for that.
Well, talk about the evolution of this band. Would you mind going
Sure.
back to 2015 is roughly when it started?
Yeah, it seems like longer ago than that, but
I bet it
we're a pretty
does.
new band, I guess. But we started. There were two of us. We started, and we were called the Mountain Sound at the time.
The Mountain Sound.
It was me and another guy, Austin Tackett, and we just.
Actually, Will Paget.
Actually,
played
Will
some
Paget was in the
songs.
Mountain Sound. We've come full circle tonight.
All right.
This is our first show with Will. He was gracious enough to learn like all of these excessively chordy songs in like less than a week. So thank you, Will. But he did a great job. Has done so far a great job. But anyway, we started as the Mountain Sound, and we just wrote some songs in my apartment at the time, which didn't even have windows. It was a great space to write in, and in college. And then we recorded our first record, and we asked Melissa and Matt. Matt was the only drummer, and Melissa was a phenomenal bass player. So we asked them to record on the CD, and without really wanting it to go anywhere necessarily. We didn't think about it that way at the time.
So what was the vision for the Mountain Sound?
Well, I was graduating from college. I was going to go to grad school in Boone, North Carolina for psychology. But then it worked really well, and I fell in love with playing and with writing all over again, because I'd done it in high school, but I never dreamed I would do it professionally. And so we became the Woodsheep because people kept thinking we were a bluegrass band, which has been the struggle from day one with us, because we get booked at these bluegrass shows and we play synthesized cat songs.
Well, the Mountain Sound sort of does suggest.
Yeah, that's why we changed it.
Well,
but
we did
Yeah.
have banjo.
we did
too.
have we do have banjo occasionally, but so we changed the name to the Woodsheep, which we thought was strange and quirky and fun. And these two, Melissa and Matt, they just stuck with it. Really, we just blended so well. Like, it was such a good team. And so after our first record came out, as the Woodsheep, we toured that year with all that stuff, and then the next year we did international things, and then it just kept going, and we just kept writing. So our second record we did, called Sleeping Under Stars, and it was sort of unintentionally about the traveling, and it's kind of a sad record, because you start to miss home, and you start to feel these strange ways, because you're on the stage with 2,000 Chinese people screaming at you, and then you're in a quiet van by yourself, and it's a really weird up and down. And a lot of the record is sort of about some of those feelings. And then we had a lineup switch last year, and so we're just a trio, and it's been really cool to be able to explore kind of what we just want to do. We really jive together as a trio, and it's been wonderful, actually, just playing.
Yeah, and so when I listened through your music from 2015 and then into the present day, there's a lot of change going on.
Yeah, it didn't feel that way to me, but it is, listening back now. It felt, it was a very natural progression, but like I said, the three of us, had never really been terribly traditional in the types of music that we listened to, and I guess it just kind of came out over time. So we just decided to keep going that way. And let it be what it is. But actually, we have a record coming out that is all traditional folk music, because so many people know us through that avenue. It's a 26-track record, home recorded and mixed at the Traditional Music Center, featuring the three of us, and then two other musicians joined us, and it's called Old Time Pigeon. So that's coming out soon.
Old Time Pigeon. Nice. Tell us about the most recent album. No, actually, you know what? You did the one about Numbers on Lemons.
Yeah.
So because I had a chance to listen through that this afternoon. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, that album happened. I'll just be honest. That album happened because we lost a member very suddenly, and we thought, well, what are we going to do? And we thought, well, we're going to play. We're going to write more. And so we cut that little 5-track record, because those 5 songs are like our most requested songs.
Except for Numbers on Lemons. They were just
Numbers on Lemons. It was a jingle that I made up for nothing.
in the grocery store.
It was about a grocery store.
But
And
Left
so-
Cat's on there, right?
Yeah, Left Cat. The cat piano was a hit, man. And so we decided to do a video for it and put it on the record, because people kept asking, "Can I buy the cat song?" Well, you can now. It's on Numbers on Lemons.
Yeah, it's the
an
real
EP.
deal too, and there is this moment in the song when you think you're listening to piano, and you're saying, what is that piano doing? And it really does go mew, mew.
It's a cat. It's B-Toys music.
Right.
Music.
And so, very nice. Keep going. So what about the new CD, Before Pigeons?
Before Numbers on Lemons was Sleeping Under Stars. They've all come at the same time. I get them mixed up. Sleeping Under Stars is the most new full-length Woodsheep LP, which was the one we wrote as a quartet, traveling together. And it's got much more of a pop folk sound, and it's all original music. Numbers on Lemons, of course, then followed that up. But Old Time Pigeon was sort of our, I don't want to say farewell to folk music, but it was a, hey, we're not playing a lot of traditional music, and so I don't want people to mistake that. I want people to hear the culture and the history in truly traditional songs. So all 26 songs, I didn't write a single one of them. It's very different for us because I usually write all of this, someone writes all of the songs. And but this one, it's all old public domain songs from Scotland and Ireland and Appalachia.
Just with a Woodsheep twist.
With a Woodsheep twist.
And where will people be able to listen to that?
This one's going to be a little different. You can only get it at a live show or on the website, so it doesn't stream like our others. And so...
no SoundCloud?
No, maybe SoundCloud. I don't know much about SoundCloud. I thought that was for rappers.
We got to talk. You're sounding like Raymond.
Oh, dear. I get that sometimes.
But where are things going now? So Melissa has for some reason, she got in a car to go to Maryland.
Well, actually, I started in Marquette, Michigan, which, if you don't know, in the beginning of December, I moved to Marquette, Michigan with my fiance. And if you don't know where Marquette, Michigan is, it's up in the UP of
Yes.
Michigan, right by Lake Superior.
How'd you like it up there?
Well, this winter, we had 331 inches of snow.
How'd you like it up
So-
there?
Yeah, well, so I walked to work, and I didn't know until May that the street I walked on had sidewalks on both sides of the street and was a full-length street. Like, I thought it was like a one-way street because there was so much snow. But, I mean, it was beautiful. I met some great people. Started reffing for roller derby while I was up there. So then anyway, my fiance took a job in Frostburg State University in Maryland. So we moved to Cumberland, Maryland, the end of June. So it's closer to home.
Okay.
So it's not so much snow.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know.
You'll get some there.
Yeah, we'll get some, but not 331 inches of snow.
You will not get 331. And but I'm not going to let you go before you tell us. Do you do roller derby?
Well, I do. I ref for roller derby because I've always wanted to do. Growing up, I always wanted to do roller derby. I guess I probably watched. I don't know what movie I watched back in. I won't tell you what year. I watched it, but I wanted to do roller derby. But living in Moorhead, Kentucky, we didn't. I mean, we had a roller skating rink, but no roller derby, right? So it was just something I always wanted to do. So when I moved up there, well, before I moved up there, he was there, and they had a roller derby team. I'm like, oh, I have to go check this out. So I went, started in January, and started going to practicing with the ladies, and I'm like, yeah, I can do this. But then I realized that I'm really not as tough as I thought I was. Like, they're like, just, you got to go in and don't apologize. And I'm like, oh, sorry, sorry.
No,
And
that's
like
not the
6
spirit of
people
roller
broke
derby.
some bones and stuff. So I was like, hey, why don't I just ref for you? And that way I don't break my bones. So yeah, that's good.
Good. All right. Melissa, it's really good to see you again. Welcome
You
back
too.
to
Thanks.
the area. And Andrew, good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
We can always depend on you to be true to your visions.
Thanks.
Yeah, because you seem they seem to evolve in interesting ways. Your music continues to be refreshing, and it's really fun to have all of you back here. Thank you so much for your good music. Let's welcome back, folks, the Woodsheep.
Thanks, Brad. I keep on writing the same old love songs, but they don't do you any justice on their own. They tell me perfect songs don't exist, babe, But the music in your soul they haven't known like I have. If I could just catch a note, I'd play it on a repeat for a while. And how the record could spin and I'd sail across your skin so sweetly. Oh, just for a spell, oh, let's take a chance. I was born just to dance to your tune for a while. I keep on writing the same old love songs. They don't do you any justice on their own. And like a sailor lost in the song of the tide, oh, I drown in the sound just to keep you alive. Oh, just for a spell, oh, let's take a chance. I was born just to dance to your tune for a while. But I'm an old dog, old tricks, an empty-handed hunting hound, and I howl those old love songs when you come around. Oh, darling, how I wish we could have lived that life, but I'm writing the same old love songs time after time. Oh, let's take a chance. I was born just to dance to your tune for a while.
So this next song is one we worked up last year when we went to China. So don't adjust your speakers. The chorus is in Chinese and the verses are in English, so they're not messing up the transmission. So it's called, translates to, I Want You to Be My Baby. And apparently I pronounced it pretty well because they didn't say it was wrong, so.
They wouldn't have known if they did.
Okay. Slow down a little bit. Why
you. We like to do a lot of original stuff, but you can't deny some of the old favorites, and this is one of my favorite Everly Brothers songs called All I Have to Do Is Dream. In my arms, and I need you, and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream, 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 dream when I feel blue in the night, and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream.
We would like to thank Andrew, Melissa, Matt, and Will, the Woodsheep, for being with us here this evening. We also thank our volunteers for their help with our production each week. We give a very special thanks to Becky Alfrey for her work with our social media and the photography of Nick Lazaroff. Thank you all for listening to our webcast, including those of you watching us on YouTube Live and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, public radio for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. It's your chance to hear even more great live Kentucky music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU.
And we also thank the members of our studio audience for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio, which strives to present, promote, and preserve the rich musical tradition of this Kentucky region and share this tradition with the world. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Tickets for Red Barn Radio are now available at eventbrite.com, Lexington.
Next week, here on the Red Barn stage, it's Avery Glenn Crabtree. Born in Winchester, he was raised in Stanton, Kentucky, with 3 musical brothers. His father played and still plays bluegrass music, so he learned vocal harmonies such as Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver, along with Waylon, Willie, and Haggard. This modern country artist is the winner of Best Original Song at 2015 Lexington Music Awards, Best Male Vocalist, and Best in Country Artist at the 2016 Music Awards, and winner of the 92.9 Nash FM Lexington, Kentucky competition, also in 2016. That's Avery Crabtree and band, 7 p.m. next week on the Red Barn stage. How about one more song from the Woodsheep?
Well, folks, that's all of tonight's Red Barn Radio program, live from Lexington, Kentucky. You can see and hear us worldwide as we stream live on the web, on YouTube, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Our program is also available on the WEKU app. Check out Red Barn Radio on demand. And now from all of us here at Red Barn Radio, to all of our friends worldwide, it is our hope that you have a tremendous week. Go well.